I can. What's up, people? Welcome to the show. I'm just gonna, wing it, I guess. Yeah, I've been away for a few days, and I thought I was doing some improvements with the mouth, but like Fable's just like, Fable's just let me down, man. So I don't know what else to say. But yeah, we're just gonna endure and just try and like have a good stream, I guess. What is that? Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's start. I hope everyone's doing all right. Thank you for tuning in. As usual, in these situations, the first few viewers, they get some free coins. So here you go. Thank you very much for showing up. Hopefully stick around. And yeah, let's just get on with it. So the first story, let's see if I can bring that up. Well, basically, I'm just going to go through the fear and greed index, so we just go straight to it. There you go. So yeah, from my last stream, it was like around 28. Yeah, so it's sort of like people are getting a bit more optimistic about the future of the cryptocurrency coins and their pricing, in it. So yeah, as you can see, like last month it was extreme fear at 25. This week, last week it was fear, and it's still fear, but it's like, better fear. I don't know how to quote that. There's been no massive sell-offs or anything like that, so I guess people are just sort of like complacent and just sitting around waiting for something to happen. Looking at price action, yeah, it's just, nothing's going on, guys. It's just a dead market. No opportunities. You're going to get chopped up sideways trying to get involved, and you've got to wait, I'd say another 1, 2, 3 months before anything substantial happens in majors. In the meantime, people are trading memes, which is, what we're going to go through. There's been some hacks, some crazy hacks, to be fair, and a lot of other things going on with that. Just basically kind of mess up the whole situation for everybody in terms of like, security and security and just being safe. Like even like self-custody is not even safe anymore. So yeah, prices are dead. Nothing else is going on. But the first subject I wanted to talk about, and I kind of missed it because I've been off for a few days, is like this Harmony chain, which basically it's been dead for 3 days now. And it's like the last block was like on the 12th of August, which is like 3 days ago. And it's just, it's a bad gateway as well on the RPC, so it's sort of a disaster. So we'll load that up. So that's a blockchain. So yeah, you can see here that's the last block mined. So Harmony patches pre-stake quorum and receipt replay floors after 1 minute claim. So Harmony asked exchanges to block 4 wallets. So if you don't know, somebody managed to print off a load of these Harmony tokens and leave the chain. I believe they bought ETH and a few other things, and they've got away with it. So what the Harmony company or team or whatever they want to call themselves are trying to do is basically pause the chain and reorg the blocks to where it never happened, which is amazing. So yeah, so Harmony's one died 40% after an attack appears to mint tokens equal to a quarter of the supply. Harmony said in Asian morning hours, it is working with exchanges to freeze funds and prepare a software fix. So they're trying to basically ask centralized exchanges to freeze these tokens. Now, I don't know if the hackers are clever enough to basically avoid centralized exchanges and then find another way to, get away with the money. But obviously, printing off 40% of the supply, or like 25% of the supply of however much it was of the token, and then converting it into like real tokens, real assets, because I don't consider Harmony's tokens real, I gotta be honest. Yeah, it's just the supply, it's basically fake supply, and that fake supply can be converted into real tokens such as ETH, Bitcoin, Solana, whatever. And then I don't know if they're going to put it in a mixer. Who knows what the plan is? But these hackers are smart, man, and everything seems to be getting attacked lately. So Harmony's Explorer reports like through blah. So like what is that? 3,23,727,000. It's just a ridiculous number against a pre-hack 15 billion. So coin market cap supply matches Harmony's staking API past the decimal point. And that API stopped 23 blocks short of the last block ever produced. So yeah, and you know, like there's people like Zach XBT who are just like, I'm not helping with them. I'm not helping with this hack. Because basically the last time that they got hacked, because they have been hacked before, he sort of like jumped in and tried to help out, and when he did, they were just like, yeah, cheers. They didn't pay him. So like, you know, he's doing all the graft and he's not getting paid, he or she or they. So Harmony confirms 4 billion one minted via empty blocks, 97% routed to exchanges as token crashes 40% as investigator Zach XBT boycotts recovery. Harmony, a layer 1 blockchain, has confirmed a critical exploit in which approximately 4 billion one tokens were minted without authorization via empty blocks, representing roughly 26% of the token's pre-existing supply. So basically no one was using the chain. So all these blocks were empty, so they had to be filled with something. So someone was just like, okay, I'll just mint a load of tokens. On-chain analyst Juiceberg reported that the attacker quickly routed around 2.8 billion one to centralized exchanges. As the token price collapsed. According to Juiceberg, the attacker retains only about 115 million or one on chain. So one is the token. That's why I keep saying one. I apologize. On chain, roughly 2.9% of the illicit supply, while the overwhelming majority, approximately 90%, 97%, is already on exchanges and has either been sold or is sitting in deposit wallets ready to sell. So here's a tweet from Harmony. We are working with our team and appropriate exchanges to stop and freeze the funds. We are working on a patch and rollback options. We will update when we have new information. So who's going to hold the bag here? So like, you know, if the exchanges are allowing or didn't realize, or like the attacker was so efficient that they were able to transport these tokens to like Binance, for instance, and then convert those one tokens to ETH or Bitcoin, which is a legitimate token because it has security. Like who's going to hold the bag? Because if they reorg the chain, technically those tokens never existed. So that means that the value of the tokens that he actually exchanged for ETH or Bitcoin is zero. So you know, I don't think, like, if they do that, if they reorg the chain and say these tokens never existed, and the centralized exchanges basically have given away Ethereum or Bitcoin or real legitimate tokens for these made up tokens, they're going to be at a loss, and I just don't think they're going to freeze. The incident has drawn renewed scrutiny to Harmony's history of security lapses and its treatment of the investigator community. On-chain investigator Zach XBT publicly refused to assist with the current incident, stating, "I will not be tracking this incident and think no one should assist them for free." Yeah, we are asking all exchanges to block and freeze funds that traces back to these 4 wallets. I will not be tracking blah, blah. Harmony took advantage of people who assisted during the $100 million Harmony Bridge exploit by the DPRK. If you don't know who that is, that's North Korea in 2022, and rewarded zero for significant freezes, which led to LE seizures, and simply said, "Good job." He cited Harmony's handling of the 2022 Horizon Bridge exploit attributed by the FBI to North Korea's Lazarus Group, in which the network allegedly took advantage of people who assisted, and rewarded zero for significant freezes, which led to blah blah. The boycott emphasizes a deepening trust deficit as Harmony considers a blockchain rollback, which would revert the network to pre-exploit state but erase subsequent transactions. A measure widely viewed as anti-ethical to blockchain immutability, which means that, you know, technically, I don't know, this is for the YouTube community, you know, like the people who don't watch, like, I know that the majority of the people who watch my content or who come across my content, they know all of this, you know, but there might be someone out there who's not aware that you're not supposed to, or you shouldn't be allowed to roll back the chain, meaning that you can't revert transactions or, like, you know, adjust the ledger. If a transaction happens on chain, then it should be on chain. That's the whole thing. That's the whole reason why we're here. It's like an immutable ledger. When something gets written into the book, a transaction or whatever, you can't roll it back. And if you do, that proves that your ledger is not immutable, which means that anyone could fudge the numbers. Anyone could change a number to suit themselves. So yeah, the task is further complicated by the fact that most funds have already reached exchanges. The exploit also marks Harmony's third major security failure in recent years, following the December 2023 staking bug that created 146 million won and the 2022 bridge attack that drained approximately 100 million. Harmony has not yet disclosed the root cause of the current breach. It's all insider jobs. I feel like this is money laundering. I don't want to say it out loud because, you can't prove it, but it feels like, it does feel like, this Harmony, whoever they are, I don't know who they're working with, but it feels like money laundering. I'm telling you, like, how do you get hacked 3 times unless you're just totally inept? If that's the case, how did you get into this position in the first place, So yeah, there's definitely more to this story. I feel like there's more to this story than people are letting on. So let's see. What's the next thing? Moving on. Still not helping. Nobody's trading. Yeah, so the next one I think is a bit more interesting, a bit more close to home. So I'm going to close these down. See if I can bring up some. So the Harmony exploit patch. Goodbye, Harmony. Thank you. Stonk launcher. Here we go. So some guy on the FOMO app has actually put like $100 into a token, and it's turned into 165,000, I believe. So it was all on chain. The card doesn't name the coin. So like it's tough because if I go here and I go to like DJ News, which is where I'm referring to for this news, so you can see it here. Someone is up 165k on paper after putting $99 into a meme coin on FOMO, but they're not saying which token it is. But what a lot of people are saying now is that, yeah, that's great that he's up $165,000, but where is the liquidity for him to sell? So like on paper, it looks like he's made a lot of money, but in order for him to sell, there needs to be like an LP to facilitate that transaction. So it's tough in it because you might think in trading meme coins, like if I get another low liquidity shit meme coin or whatever, like this one, for instance, whatever it is, and he's like, what the fuck happened? What happened? If you get into a meme coin, it's got like no liquidity for you to get in or out. When it's time to sell, the slippage basically destroys all your profits. So he gets out with 50%, which is still a great return. But the $165,000 mark is great for headlines, but at the same time, it's sort of like it's not the truth. On paper, it looks amazing, isn't it? I think the guy is still holding as well. I believe we can check the comments. Let's see. The fact you mean on paper, yeah, no, this will not be you. Don't fall for the trap. Play the game. So a lot of people, like, the comments on this post are basically saying, oh, this is just like, them trying to encourage people to jump on chain and start trading memes because it could happen to you. It's like winning the lottery, like you put $100 into a coin, it blows up like thousands of X's, and then all of a sudden, you're like the guy who made a load of money. More than likely you're not going to make anything trading small amounts. In the very unlikely situation where that does happen for you, then congratulations. But yeah, the odds. Yeah, so let's see. It is Revi. So like, let me see. Have we got Revi here? I think I saw something about that. Yeah, so this token here, I believe it's this one. Yeah, you can see. This can't be it. So it's sort of selling off now. Yeah, the guy has no, so you can see here the liquidity is like at $1. So the volume is 7.3 million. So all the people that are actually in this coin, who saw it like pumping, they must have thought like, oh yeah, I've made a load of money, because the liquidity is -1 as reported by. Do you know what I could do? I could actually put that on the FOMO app and see. Let's see, because I actually want to see like how it actually all worked out. Robinhood Ventures Fund 2, it stands for. That's interesting. Let's see. Is that it? Press enter. See if the token comes up. Tokens. Okay, there's no such token. But yeah, it's called Robinhood Ventures 2 on Solana, impersonating a real fund that priced its IPO on the 13th of August. The pool traded 53 minutes and died. So it basically traded, like, people had liquidity in this pool for less than an hour. So during all of that, like, there was a possibility for him to possibly get out, but I'm not sure how much liquidity was actually in there because it happened so quick. So it died at like 2 a.m. It now holds like 0.00035 cents. At the best price the coin ever really traded, that position was worth 6,850, not 165,000. So there were 1,963 buyers, 45 sellers, unrealized, and nobody's dunked on. So the guy's basically stuck with a coin that says, yeah, you've made this much money. It's probably a lot less now. And he probably couldn't get out of that position because of the lack of liquidity. And that's the situation that most people find themselves in. So, you got to be vigilant when you're looking on, like, on crypto Twitter, or like, or if you see any sort of post where some guy's like, yeah, I put 500 into this coin and I made 70K. It's like, yeah, on paper it says that you made 70K, but try and sell it and see what happens. Because of the lack of liquidity, the slippage will basically eat away any profits that you make. And a lot of people can, scammers, I don't want to call them scammers, like maybe people who don't know any better, will advertise that they made X amount of profits. But yeah, it's just not the case. It's simply not the case. It's quite a sad state of affairs, to be fair, because people coming into this space, they're going to see people posting these sort of cards online saying that they've made X amount of money. And then, they don't realize that the lack of liquidity means that you're never going to get out with it. So yeah, you can see it here. It's just like crashing down. It's over. Okay. So yeah, I apologize because, I didn't fully understand the idea of it, and it was a big thing for like 2 hours, but I had to report on it, and it had to be a main headline because it's attention grabbing. So I understand if you want to tune out now and just think, oh, this guy's full of shit, but it is what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Oh, what am I doing? I'm such a silly way. Wait, one second. So I had this whole thing built up and I didn't even use it. So we got, I need to, yeah. So we did Harmony is still dead. We've done that already. So the supply that was updated, it still not helping. We've covered what's this? Nobody's trading Apple. Record money on the chain, 3 million of it touched a stock. Okay, so what's that about? Let me see if I can get back to that. So yeah, nobody's trading Apple. Robinhood Chain TVL hit an all-time high today. 538 million, up every day this month. Tokenized stocks over 24 hours. So the SPY has only done 1.82 million. Apple is less than 500,000. In terms of, because this is about tokenized stocks, isn't it? So if I go here, what I've done is I've done a bit of research, guys. You see, are you proud of me? Yeah, Apple. Can we do that? I just had it there. Did I mess it up? Apple. It's got to be this one, right? Here it is, Apple. So you could trade, just so you guys are aware, you could trade tokenized stocks on chain. I'm pretty sure this is the legitimate one. But yeah, this is like Apple stock. There's no volume on it or anything. I don't know, man. It's so weird because to be able to trade tokenized stocks, yeah, okay. It's like tethered to the original price, so you would assume that the price would be a lot higher. Yes, if we go to price. There we go. Yeah, so this is Apple stock, $305 per stock, per share. So you can actually buy Apple stocks on Robinhood's FOMO, Robinhood's L2, on this application called FOMO. Okay. But yeah, at the moment, as you can see, the volume is non-existent. So no one's actually trading traditional stocks or tokenized stocks on chain at the moment. It will be a big thing at some point. But I think the appetite for it is minimal because people are so accustomed to the volatility of memes where something could shoot up, 40% in a day. That's like a crazy gain in real terms. You can see on the left here, Kate or Cat or whatever it's called is up 33% today. Instead of Robinhood, which moves 0.5% because, the market cap of it is so large. So yeah, the liquidity as well is only 52K in there, which is, for the type of people that are trading these things, is okay. You're going to buy one stock, maybe two stocks. So you get 0.5% gain, but that's the way traditionals work. In order to make money, you need a substantial amount for it to work out. So yeah, I'm going to break that down. So it's easier for me to do my job. Let me see if I can bring it over. There we go. That's not the one I want. That's the one I want. Yeah. 99. Apologies, guys. I'm still trying to figure it out. Maybe I'll put that there. Okay. So the next story. So yeah, no one's trading stocks. There's 56K on there. Screenshot. So the question about the guy who putting the money in is ever screenshot a P&L, you could not actually get out of. So yeah, have you like, you know, I don't know, this is for the DJs out there. Have you ever taken a screenshot and then not realized that you can't actually get out of the position? Or like, you know, if you sold, you've gone to sell and you see that the slippage is massive. Like, have you ever been in that position? And what would you do? Like, for me personally, like, I wouldn't care about the slippage because profit is profit. Yeah, so that's a question for the chat if anyone's watching. The panda, let's see what that's about. The panda. So I'm just going through my yeah, the panda. Pool created at 4:30 this morning, 17.3 million of volume. Market cap is 290k by 9 at night. Volume. So let me see the panda. Let's see if that's actually here. I should have links to this, but I don't. Sorry, guys. The panda. Yeah, like meme coins are like, you know, the way people are advertising it. I think it's like a BC, a Bitcoin smart chain, not Bitcoin, Binance smart chain sort of deal. Panda. Is it that one? Panda World? Must be that one. Panda. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Bloody hell. Yeah, so this token here, Panda, warning, unsellable token, trade unavailable for this token. So you can't actually buy or sell it. Or you can buy it, but you can't sell it, strangely enough, because there's no liquidity. So it's the same thing as like what that guy got into in this situation where he put $100 and he made 165k. So the pool was created at 4:30 this morning, 17.3 million of volume. Now the market cap is like, well, it's still quite high actually, 290k by 9 at night. Volume 60 times the cap. So yeah, a load of people bought into this, I'm assuming, thinking that it's going to do bits. But sadly, because there's no liquidity, you can't actually sell it. But it's still sitting at 12 million market cap, according to FOMO. I'm assuming this is the correct token. I don't like to put or go into contract addresses. Maybe that's something I need to add to what I'm doing in my research, to my automated research. I don't want to brag about it, but like I'm figuring it out. But yeah, this could be the thing that perhaps people are trapped in as well. So there's like a lot of liquidity traps right now in memes. And it's tough, isn't it? Because like you would want to buy something like Cashcat, which has, you know, a load of volume and also a load of liquidity, so it allows for bigger participants to get in and out. It's strange, actually. This is one thing that I think. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it's got $1.6 million of liquidity at 117 million market cap. So this is like a race to the door, basically, for people to get out with reasonable profits. Definitely something to think about if you're holding this, okay? I know the market cap is massive. Probably you're up loads if you bought like really low. But the fact that, you know, yeah, there's only like $1.6 million worth of exit liquidity is kind of like, well, in saying that, I guess you got to take both sides of the position when you're providing liquidity. So like it would be like Cashcat 50% and then USDC 50%. That's the issue that I think meme coins are going to have, or like companies like FOMO or tokens in general of this ilk, the meme coin market, is that there's not enough liquidity for people to actually, you know, get in and out. Like for like Doge, for instance, went to like 50 billion, something ridiculous like that anyway, you know, like billions of dollars. But people were able to get out because it had been around for such a long time. And there was enough liquidity for people to get in and out, which allowed larger buyers to participate in the market. So we're still not there yet, but at some point it will happen. So it's just something to pay attention to. I think I've got like a link for this. Let me see. I should have a link for that. So the next story, let's be more efficient about this. Keep it smooth, guy. Come on. Let's see what the next story is. Cashcat give it back. Yeah, so Cashcat is like, it's so weird. I wasn't even realized that was the next part of the story. So yeah, Cashcat gave it back, down a quarter in 2 days and still half of its July high. So yeah, you can see that looks like a double top to me. That looks like something that's not come, well, maybe not. It didn't even reach the first high, so it didn't even go back up. But yeah, it looks like a double top to me. What's the question on that one? Anyone still holding Cashcat from the July top? Like, you know, is anyone still holding this? You know, it topped out like what, 230 mil. Yeah, so it's half of what it was at the moment, which is a scary prospect. And yeah, like I said, it's a race for the doors until like it gets. That's the thing about centralized exchanges. Until it gets added to a centralized exchange, or if I wonder if Robinhood is actually providing. I think Robinhood has actually got it on their books, so it might work out. It might work out. But yeah, liquidity definitely needs to improve. They've got 60,000 holders at the moment, and the top 10 are holding 12.10%. So yeah, is anyone still holding it? That's a question for the chat. If anyone is, yeah, let us know in the yeah. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching in on X, but yeah, let me know in the comment section, which I'm currently not looking at. But yeah, you can always give me some sort of feedback. So the next story, let's see what's the next story. I've got links as well, but I just can't bother to. I'll have to do something with that. Poons took half of pump fund. So do I have that up? Let's see, pump fund surges. Oh, that's another story. Let me see if I can get to. Yeah, we can go back to Poons. Yeah, that's it. So pump fund, they announced a new facility, which basically allows you to shill a token. So say for instance you buy a token, then you could do something called a call out, which is the reason why you bought it. I like the idea of it, in a sense. It's kind of like when you buy a token, do you think why have you bought that token? You have to justify your position. So it stops it's sort of calls people out on their reasoning. So it would stop people from scamming. I don't know, because the problem with pump fund is it's anyone could drop a meme. It's not that expensive to do it. So then that means that there's constantly a spamming of memes. And if someone is constantly calling out pump and dumps, people are going to notice, so you're going to be marked. It's if that guy calls out a token, I'm never touching it, so it sort of highlights. It's a good idea. It's a good move, I feel, anyway. Will it work out in the long run? I don't know. But the interesting part is that you actually get paid for your call outs. I don't know if you get paid to be correct, but you do get paid for your call outs. I'm not sure how much it is. I think it's 20 cents per call out or something like that. So it could be a situation where the timeline on pump fund, because it's totally been reimagined now. Let me bring it out for you guys so you can see it, because if you're not familiar with pump fund, the way it looks before is sort of they're trying to copy what FOMO is doing in a sense. So I'll just bring that up. Just give me a sec. Just want to make sure. Yeah. Double up on it. Well, let's load that up. So if I go to home, here we go. Yeah, sorry, that's my pump fund stream. No one watches. It's fine. Eventually, let's go home. There we go. So yeah, this is the regular layout that you would see on Uniswap or whatever else. But the call out section, I think it's that one. Oh, it's loading so slow. Gives me an opportunity to have a sip of me juice, maybe. No, that's the pump fund go. So that's their market. Live, mayhem, call outs. Here we go. So yeah, this is the section for call outs. So you can see people buy a token and they'll be the breakout looks very clean, so, and you have to put a name and a face or a PFP to each call out. So it kind of highlights who is shilling shit. And you can see it's getting spammed at the moment. Top callers, and then it's got a list of the leaderboards of people who you could moderately trust. I don't know if there's any trust in memecoin trading, but this guy, he's got and it tells you how much they've got in their portfolio and the hit rate. It's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool feature. It stops people from scamming, basically, because now you not only have to justify your position, but you also have to do it publicly. Well, I guess it's the same thing, but yeah, just being able to justify your position publicly is a good thing, because it was very you're blind, for the past, I'd say 12 months, trying to trade memes. It's just the only thing you had to trust was the timeline. And most of the people on the timeline were scammers. The only time I think I bought a meme coin is just on a whim. Someone mentioned something about, oh, let me check it out. And then I see it's 150K, which is tiny. And that person's dumping on your head. But now, you're sort of your reputation is on the line if you're scamming, and people will know it. So the hit rate of this guy here, for instance, is 45%. So if I click on his profile, it's really interesting features. I'm a trader, a top caller, and a multi-million-dollar dev. I'm always looking for the next cook. So he's a multi-million-dollar dev. Let's see what he's open. So he's got nothing open, and then you can see his closed positions. So he bought Palestine. He spent $400 on Palestine, and he made 3,000. Fartcoin, yeah, you know, what average entry? He bought Fartcoin at 133k, and he only made $2,000. You know, he's in and out. He's in and out. It looks like, but he knows how to play the game. It seems, but he hasn't shielded anything in a while, I guess. Yeah, yeah. And then you've got like a leaderboard, net P&L. So these are the most profitable meme coin flippers at the moment, which is sort of similar. This is like what FOMO forced them to do. So like, you know, you've got a leaderboard here. And it's very strange to me looking at this because, you know, in my era, back in my day, the plumber era, we're calling it the plumber era. In my day, you would want to keep your trades private, man. Like, but these kids, this generation, they don't give a shit. Okay, they're out here. You know, like, yeah, you could try and hide, but like, yeah, it's just like you've linked your X profile. This guy's got like 575 followers and he's up 128 grand. Avocado. Is that a coin or is that like a person? No way. Yeah, that's like it's got to be a person, right? Poor Goat. Yeah, he's the one that was on Market Bubble a couple of days ago. Wasn't a very interesting story, to be fair. Like his portfolio is up. Okay, congratulations, but yeah, it wasn't like. The thing is, it's like everyone. I think someone's the market or meme coin traders are looking for a messiah. Now, Ansem, they're treating him like the black bull or whatever. They're treating him as the messiah. But his last cycle, you know, you're looking for this cycle's, you know, social fi, social trade fi, social meme fi. I don't know what to call it, but it's going to be a thing. They're looking for that messiah who's the grand leader. They're looking for the Kobe of their generation. You know, like my generation, it was Kobe, it was Arthur Hayes. I think that was his name, yeah, Arthur Hayes, like, you know, who with BitMEX. And like all these, like the Don Alts, you know, like the older ones who are like trading Litecoin still to this day and XRP and whatever, who know how blockchains actually work and what they're supposed to be used for. But this generation here, they're like fully out here trying to be the messiah. So like at the moment, QWERTY is the messiah. In terms of FOMO. And you can see like he's trading always down a bit though, isn't he? Mate, how much he's lost? 500k? Doesn't seem to care. Okay, whatever. But yeah, let's try this again. So yeah, he's been stung a bit. And you can see everyone's trades. It's insane. It's insane the fact that they're actually out here just trading public, but it's exciting and it's very entertaining. So like Paul Goat was like, you know, the number one guy, but this QWERTY seemed to have found some sort of rhythm. 7-day P&L is up 164k. I know what you're asking yourselves is like, where am I on this leaderboard? At the moment on Pump Fund, I think I'm like 3,208 or something because I don't do memes, guys. Like, you know, I would love to be honest, like be able to just like, you know, be able to know how to trade it. I'm just too fearful. I put like a couple $100 into some Poxy coins, narrative plays. You know, I'm still holding on to my bills for, you know, the Clarity Act passing. Potentially that could be something like, I think I own like 1% of the supply. So that could be something that, yeah, you know, catapults me up the meme leaderboard. But like, yeah, I'm just not willing to put like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars into meme coins, not in this current market. But these kids are brave. Part of me's thinking, they've got insider information, or like, you know, there's a gang of them that are doing things, and you know, they just know how to manipulate the market. Like for instance, with that guy who, you know, when you saw the title of this video, you saw like it was $99 invested and he made 165k. You're going to click on that and be like, how the hell did he do that? You know, and then you've come to find out that actually it was just a fake P&L. Not that it was fake, it was just that, you know, the token that he was trading lacked liquidity. So yeah, it's just one of those ones where I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with it, but like, yeah, it's exciting to watch. It's very entertaining for me personally. Maybe it's because I'm a nerd. Maybe because I'm old and washed. I don't know. But it's amazing to see how these kids are doing, which is very impressive. Because like these guys are like definitely in their 20s. They're not like, you know, old heads. Poor Strata, like, you know, yeah, it's just, yeah. But like, you know, say for instance you, right? You've got like 5 mates. You've got like 5 friends, and you guys want to get into memes, okay? So you decide, do you know what, guys? We're gonna try and do this. Like, let's sit together, let's stream together. Let's like, you know, let's make it a thing. You could actually start a clan. Yeah, so this is not an advertisement, by the way. So yeah, there's people who like, you know, have got clans, which is like a minimum of 5 people. Let me see if I can click on it. Clans, here it is. So like this one, Grand. So this is a clan of people, a bunch of people that have got together, and these are the members. So you can see all the members in the clan, and they all trade their own book. Okay, and together they create like a clan profit. So the best clans, basically, there are clans of people competing. So if a clan of people decide, I know it's so weird, if a clan of people or a bunch of people decide that they want to trade together into one coin, you know, like say for instance, this guy, he's up 367. He's number one at the moment, actually, on the leaderboard. He's up 367,000. Congratulations, by the way. Say he decides, oh, do you know what? We should create a coin and we should all just back it. They could pump a coin to $1 million, and then, you know, or even basically they could do their own pump and dumps as a clan. There's a lot of trust involved, and I don't know who knows who, but this is the way it seems to be working. So now you're starting to discover that there is like a network of people basically all trading the same sort of coins, because they've obviously got their Telegram put together and they're doing it publicly. I think that's the most important thing. It's just kind of like, yeah, they're doing it for the clout. Yeah, I'm super impressed. I'm super impressed with like this whole thing, and it's exciting to see where it goes. Would I like my own clan? Obviously, I would. Would I be able to trust 4 individuals, like, you know, or more? I guess you don't have to. I guess like if you know a couple mates and you just want to have a laugh on a Friday night, you could start a clan and you guys could just fuck around 1,000 each. Let's see how it goes and who wins at the end of the weekend, or, you know, it's exciting. It's exciting. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to advertise this much better. And I just don't think like a lot of people are aware of what this thing is. But yeah, I'm very happy to see, like, you know, the meme coins actually experimenting. Meme coin companies. I don't know what to call them. Meme coin protocols. Memecoin apps, you know, they're actually trying to experiment and do things, and it's competition for a company like Pump Fund, which has been dominating the market for the past, always down, which has been dominating the memecoin space for the longest time, and they've had to adjust. And you can see from even the user interface, they're slowly starting to get like, okay, we need a leaderboard, we need more clarity on what people are trading, who to trust. You know, it's not just people scamming. One of the issues that I think meme coins need to sort out, though, Bitcoin trading and whatever, is vamping. So like, say a token basically has really good success, some people will well, a group of people, or like, I don't know who it is, but they'll just release the same token with a slightly different name, or they'll be like, oh yeah, here's a derivative of the same token, you know, like cat with hat instead of dog with hat, or mouse with hat, and it's just constantly spamming. Like, people have cottoned on to like, don't buy those things, and with a reputational board, some sort of reputation attached to each token now, it's going to probably slow people down from like just basically spamming the chain with shit coins. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be, you know, in danger of buying a coin that's just going to go to zero. It happens more often than it doesn't. But yeah, I think, yeah, meme coins are definitely interesting. Did I ask a question on this? I don't remember where it was. Paid callouts, clever growth, or just laundering the shill? So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think, like, you know, it's a clever idea? I think it's a clever idea. I think it's like probably the best idea they've come up with up to now. And that comes from like FOMO anyway. Well, yeah, that comes from Pump Fund, who, you know, they did mayhem coins. They've done all sorts of other things other than fix the issue, which is like reputational risk. You know, well, the solution is reputational risk. I think that's the most important thing at the moment. The next thing is to just do the airdrop. I'm gonna have a sip of juice, guys. I've been waffling for too long. I'm on live stream. All right, give me a break. Okay, on to the next one. Let's see, what's the next story? Plumber, 4 days on. Down about 90%. Yeah, so there's a token called Plumber. So there was this theory that, you know, the youngers got us again, in it. Well, I don't know if the old heads even were bothered, like when they were, well, we were clearly like annoyed that we were called plumbers, but obviously it became a meme, and, you know, everyone was just like, oh, yeah, they basically released a meme coin and started trading on us, innit? As they do. But yeah, Plumber released on the day of, you know, or near enough when this whole thing blew up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check my previous stream. There was like some controversy with one of the broccoli heads who's like, done well in this market, basically calling us old heads plumbers, which didn't hurt my feelings. Yeah, watch the last video and you'll know exactly the context. But that token was released and, it pumped to a pretty high market cap, which was about what 10 million, maybe just over 10 mil. And it's subsequently sold off and the meme is dead. And that was all within the space of like, 2 days. 2 days you had to make a profit on this thing. And yeah, so it's down like 92% at the moment. Will it come back? I don't think so. But it was a funny meme at the time. And, it did dominate the timeline for a good 3 days. There were still people talking about it. There were like people who made it in the last, in that cycle, the plumber cycle, who had to actually go onto the broccoli heads. His name's Thread Guy, but I call him the broccoli head because he's young. All right. I hope he takes it in good jest. Not that he's going to see any of this content. But yeah, yeah, he had some of the old heads on, Trader Main, who basically spoke about the times back in the day, how things were, and the differences. So maybe he's got some a bit of clarity about it, and yeah, maybe he's just realized that it's for the clout. But what do you think? Best phrase to coin speed run have you seen? So yeah, do you think that was the best one you've seen? It took 2 days. And I think I've realized how to trade memes though now, right? It's like if something is said and it annoys me, and then it goes on the timeline and it just continues to annoy me, and I want to make content about it, the first thing I should do is check if there's a coin, and then just buy that coin. But the plumber thing, yeah, it really annoyed me. But yeah, maybe he was right. And maybe the plumbers bought this coin and they're just like back to work, back to fixing that toilet. Who knows? Next, Signal scrambled. The launch was on Tuesday. Yeah, so like obviously stock. We're still watching the stock launcher. The signal is still scrambled. I don't know what's going on with it. The guy, I can't remember his name. He's been on a few shows and he's talking about. I mean, he's making grand promises. It says here that there's 1 day, 14 hours, and 39 minutes, but now it's saying 2 days. So as you can see, they tried to be evasive about the launch because they don't want to get front running anyway. There are tokens being launched on it regularly. There's a Vault token. There's like a Aerodrome-esque type token that's just come out. As I said before, there's a guy called Crypto Goon, or just Goon, on X. If you want to know, he's deep in this Stonk launcher, and he updates contract addresses. Honest actor. Maybe check out his stuff if you want to get on these tokens early. But yeah, I'm just watching. I'm watching from the sidelines because, yeah, it's just what I do these days. I'm too old to like be jumping in and out, and life goes on, innit? I don't know. Maybe you might see me on stock launcher. Who knows? Getting rinsed on these memes. That's all I know. I'm down like $800. I know it's not a lot of money, but me trying to figure out the game, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Even like my boy Mike Dudas or whatever his name is, I had a lot of faith in him. He was on the market bubble as well, and he's a legitimate actor. He's actually the only investor to actually invest in stock launches or whatever. I mean, in pump fund, and before it blew up. So he's made billions of dollars. He launched his own coin, and I thought, how safe is that? And yeah, basically, it's over. Like yesterday, someone dumped like the majority of their holdings before the update where it had this holder metric and all of that stuff. It showed that he actually owned 65% of the token. So I don't know if it was him that took the 7K out that just totally wrecked this, but like more fool me for thinking that the investor in pump fund would actually do something about his content coin or his reputational coin. Maybe it's a scam. I don't know. Maybe it comes back. Who knows? Maybe I should buy a load of the supply and just sit on it. Who knows? But yeah, I basically lost my whole investment on that. So you can see I put $157 in and now it's down to 10. There's no point in actually selling it now. I mean, I only own 0.5% of it, of the supply. And yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, a bit disappointing in that one. Bills is still like there. Bills is kind of like my narrative play for the Clarity Act. It's still there. I'm down like, it says that, yeah, well, I'm down quite a bit on it. But yeah, you can see from my trades anyway, like it's just a rough ride. I'm definitely the plumber in this market. And they're all laughing at me. They're like, look at him trying to trade memes and he buys this bills. I've held this coin for ages. Like, I mean, in terms of like meme coin trading, I've held this token from what date did I buy? I don't know when that is, the 28th of July. So I've held this for a good 2-3 weeks. Okay. The Clarity Act is supposed to, something's happening with the Clarity Act on the 14th of September. So yeah, I'll probably hold until then or the lead up to that, and then we'll see where we're at. Probably goes to zero. If not, could be a thing of, yeah, I could be in the market, because that's the aim. See, because like it's easy for, this is the thing. It's kind of like, you can see my trades here as well. Like, I mean, look at this. I've done nothing but lose. It's a joke. I mean, I'm not even embarrassed to show like how much I'm losing on these small trades, because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is the thing. You know, I traded like this NTFS token 3 times on 3 different addresses. You know, that's how you know I'm down bad. Nigi, like, you know, I lost like 123 on it. Meduna's 146. Bill, I'm down like 500. I've lost money over the past 3 weeks, you know, trading these tokens. I've done all right in other respects, okay? But like, you know, it's just kind of a thing of like, yeah, United States Water Reserve, like, you know, what are you doing, bro? Like, but the thing is, it's like, you can see that I'm not really buying memes. I'm buying like narrative plays. Does that make sense? I bought Ansem at like what, 216 market. It's below that now, but like $26 here and there, you know, because everything I seem to be late on. So I'm like, all right, let me just put a little bit in. The Bills one, I feel like, yeah, it could go. It has the potential to go. But like, yeah, my point is that I want to be, if I'm going to be in the meme coin trenches with these kids, like getting run over, I want to be the guy who turns 145 into, you know, something reasonable, where I can continue in the market. Obviously, you know, judging from what happened with the guy who put in $100 and he made 165, and now there's no liquidity for him to exit. I don't want that to happen to me, but I don't think that would happen with this token. And those reasons, my reasoning is my own, that I won't justify until it happens, if it happens, if that makes sense. Was there a question about that? Yeah, so how late does a launch have to be before you stop waiting? So like, yeah, in regards to like Stonk launch, you know, like they promised it earlier in the week. So, you know, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, it'll be a week. They said that it would be launching, and they've sort of delayed it. Maybe there's some issues. Maybe it's like, you know, they're waiting to see what happens with whatever. But if this drags on for 3 weeks, I think people will just start to lose interest. But even in terms of the token, Stonk, I think it's called. Stonk. I mean, I guess I could just go to tokens instead of searching it like a boomer, innit? Oh, I said it. Yeah, in terms of STONKBROKER, the actual token, Stonk, load, please. There you go. It's sort of like sideways consolidating right now. Could be a top, you know? There's a call out here. Capitulation wicks, low 1 hour RSI, lower 1 hour Bollinger Band. 1 hour. This guy's trading the hourly. This guy's trading an hourly on a $69 million market cap, with $2.7 million worth of liquidity. He's trading the hourly. I mean, these kids are crazy, man. Like, even like, let's see. Okay, so if we go to an hourly, yeah. So even in terms of the token, you know, like, how long are you going to hold before, you know, are you going to launch this thing, guys? Are you going to launch this thing? That looks like a high or low. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this, but how long do you think is reasonable to wait before you decide, you know what, I'll get it at a cheaper price, or do you know what, this thing's just gonna continue to go down? I mean, it touched what, 22, which is, I'd say, is about 50 mil market cap, and then it bounced back. So there are definitely buyers at the moment. But once those buyers are exhausted, yeah, it just becomes a thing of like, what is the trade? You know, what's this guy saying? Double bottom, there, rip. I mean, he was right. Did he sell though? DeFi meets NFT season. I mean, it's not the first time, and I will say this, right? It's not the first time. I feel like people are misunderstanding or misinterpreting what this thing is, in terms of like, yeah, DeFi NFT season. This is not the first product that was an NFT that had DeFi attached to it. You know, like Aerodrome done it, Velodrome done it, where like, you know, you had a vested NFT and it earned a yield for you every week. The only difference I think here is that the funds that are paid into your wallet, which is, you know, attached to your NFT, or your NFT that is attached to your wallet, the only thing that's different is that you're getting paid in RWAs, real world assets, like Nvidia and like these other stocks, tokenized stocks, I should say. You're getting paid in tokenized stocks, whereas with like Aerodrome, you were providing liquidity to new launches for a share of their tokens. That's the difference. But it's not the first NFT DeFi thing. And, you know, if I go and have a look at like Aerodrome, for instance, which does have, you know, yeah, you can see what I'll show you. You can see in terms of like airdrop, for instance, which is not exactly the same product. It's got different assets involved. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I can show you Velodrome too, and it's exactly the same thing. I think the thing is that the NFT, if you were to hold it, okay, you want to sell it, for instance. Say you want to realize profit on the NFT. Now it's saying that it's worth 10 ETH, right? Just as an example, I know it's worth more than that, but say it's worth 10 ETH. You want to get out of your position. You want to realize the win on that. So you go to sell it. You're going to get undercut all the way. It's a thing of like, from my experience with these things, with DeFi NFTs, you have to like at least expect to undercut yourself by, or like say it's worth $10,000. You're selling it for 7. You're going to lose 30% on the NFT sale. Not only that, you're also losing the opportunity to earn, the yield from the tokenized stocks being issued. I believe there's like another thing where like, there's going to be a vault. I think there's a vault as well where you can lock up your NFT, and then you get fees from new launches. So like when people are trading in between, trading like these new launches, the liquidity, so it could be earning ETH, will be issued to the people who are holding the NFT within the vault. So you're double locking. And I don't know, like, I haven't read the documentation on like how you unlock, if there's like a waiting period. That's what makes me nervous about this thing. It's like, if you're going to lock your NFT up in a vault to earn a yield from fees, as well as receive stocks and shares or real world asset, tokenized stocks. I've got to get used to saying that. Tokenized stocks, as well as your tokenized stocks. What is the time period of where it can unlock? Because this thing can unwind very quickly. Okay, it can unwind very quickly, and then all of a sudden you're holding an NFT in a vault that takes 3 weeks to unlock from the vault, and then in a subsequent you've got to sell it for a 30% loss. You're down. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. Like, but yeah, locking it in a vault, plus you're locking your liquidity in an NFT as well. Those are the things that are making me hesitant to even like look at it or hop in, because I feel like I've seen it before. And before anyone says, oh yeah, but like airdrop doesn't have a vault, it does have a vault. You can lock your tokens up to like increase the amount of airdrop that you have. It's just the same game. It's nothing new to me. And like, people are like, oh my God, it's so amazing. It's like, we've seen this before, guys, and I'm showing you how it ends up. Okay. But yeah, stay optimistic. Stay optimistic. But yeah, I don't know. And the worst thing as well, the last thing I'll say, is the fact that they missed the date to launch. Airdrop did the same thing. They were supposed to launch on Ethereum mainnet, and yeah, it hasn't happened. They're saying next month now. For whatever reason, it's probably everyone's waiting for the Clarity Act, isn't it? Let's see if that's the truth. We said the token. What is this for? I don't even know what this story is about. Let me see if I can get a reference. 1 second, guys. Scroll up. Foods. Yeah, so like Scamwatch, day 28 of an impersonator's contract. Explorer rate still blah. So yeah, there's just a load of bullshit. Like, so Scamwatch, 28 days of impersonation contracts on the exploiter. So yeah, the fake token for Stonk is still out there. No one's really talking about it. I guess no one's really biting. I think the participants in the market at the moment, who, especially someone who's dealing with like Stonk, are crypto native, and they're aware of like all the caveats and the dodginess, like in terms of like copied contracts that are slightly different, where you can get scammed and rinsed of all your money. People are very cautious. The current participants in the market, they're aware of what's going on. Yeah, let's see. Plus at least 16 fake. So there's fake. What is this? Fake RVIIs on Solana from 6+ wallets. Okay, I don't think this is relevant, so I'm not even going to talk about it. My research report just it needs some refining, but it's all learning, isn't it? So yeah, this I'll bring it up just so you guys can see it. Well, I'm not going to adjust it, but like yeah, the contract address is still out there. So same name, same ticker, 9 decimals instead of 18. Reacted. So the only real stockbroker contract. Yeah, I've got an example there. 16 fake Robinhood funds. Every story has a clone. Yeah. So yeah, basically when new launches happen, just be cautious. because as soon as something launches, like people are aware of the upcoming launches, which is why probably stockbrokers doing this. People immediately just drop like, copies of it, vamps of it with like, a different contract address, and they try and rob you, which is quite disgusting. I was going to say it's the French, but I'm not going to say that. It's fine. The rest. Okay, yeah. So another interesting story. Tether. I'll bring it up on X just because like you guys need something different to look at. You guys need a reference, right? Tether. So yeah, Tether actually done the audit. Let's see. Completes largest inaugural financial audit in history. Okay, so yeah, here's the story. And then, this is the guy who's in charge of it. Tether's not building any blockchain, nor has any plans to build one. We remain agnostic and support many transport layers for stablecoins. Of course you do. Tether is everywhere. Never cared for what they say, never cared for the games they play, never cared for what they do. Exclusive, honesty, I don't care. Tether CEO dismisses critics following first. Yeah, so like, yeah, they've had their audit and they passed. And if you guys are wondering what's the big deal with like Tether doing the audit, for years, okay, people have been saying like Tether's the most dodgy like company. They've got Tether is like USD, tethered to the value of USD, so it's like a dollar. It's a digital dollar. But people were saying that they don't have the money to back it. So like if you wanted to redeem your digital dollar for cash, and you went to Tether directly and said, give me cash for it, they would not have the cash in the bank. But it turns out they do. There was one guy called Bitfinex who used to like constantly write threads about how Tether's a scam. It's going to crush the whole industry, crypto industry, and it's going to go to shit and all the rest of it. Turns out he was wrong. It took a good, 10 years. I don't know how anyone could be so, I don't know what the word is, determined. Or like, yeah, determined to like, devalue someone's work, or like not devalue, but yeah, like just talk down. They're just like a constant negative for years as well. Like, for years he's been doing that. And to be proven wrong, like, 8 years later, it's got to be like, oh, you just wasted like a good part of your life, mate. Yeah, this is the defining moment for stablecoin industry, said Paolo Ardiano, CEO of Tether. For years, some detractors said an audit of Tether could not be completed. They said the company refused to subject itself to the most rigorous scrutiny. We have once again proven them wrong. Completing our financial statement audit sets a new standard for the industry and reflects the leadership we've brought to this market from the start. Bang. So he's just spat in their faces there, which is a nice... I mean, he kept it classy. He kept it classy. I would have been like, see, I told you, bitches. Told you, you know what I mean? I would have been all over it. Sorry, I need to cut that. KPMG did not simply review a set of headline figures. KPMG conducted a full and thorough audit in accordance with the AP blah 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 standards, examining the assets, transactions, systems, documentation. So they looked at everything and they said, you know what, you better good to go, which is amazing. So yeah, that happened. Tether. What was the other part of that story? There's other things as well. France leaked addresses. Oh, this is another one. So yeah, congratulations to Tether. I always believed in you. So the next one is Trezor. Let's get to Trezor. This one's a bit more scary for hard wallet holders out there, and yeah, it's a scary one. So yeah, here it is, the story. So basically, they got breached. Okay, which means that people's data has been exposed. We have some difficult news to share. Unfortunately, one of our shipping providers has experienced a data breach that exposed sensitive order data. This affects new customers in the US, UK, Sweden, Colombia, Brazil, Italy, Portugal, who received an order within the 90 days prior to the August 8th, 2026. The data exposed full names, shipping addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses. The incident affects 11,742 customers with full exposure. Name, email, phone number, shipping address, and 1,947 customers with partial exposure. Name, city, email. The breach is limited due to Trezor's strict 90-day storage. All affected customers have been contacted separately. Yeah, so, it's hard to stay safe in this market, like, in crypto. Yeah, I mean, what's the solution here? A lot of people are like, well, I can't keep it in a hot wallet. I can't keep it in cold storage. So what do I do? So more than likely, this will force people to trust an institution not your keys, not your coins, but they might just, be like, you know what, I'll just leave it on Coinbase. It's safer. It's more safe. Or yeah, I just don't know what the solution is. There was one, unique solution I saw, or that I thought was pretty cool, was that you could go to a meet. If someone wants to buy a load of treasures, right, and be like, okay, I'm going to a meetup, an Ethereum meetup. I'm going to, I'm going to start like a meetup for Ethereum enthusiasts. Okay, you could sell them there for cash, or like for a debit card, transaction. I would be like, you know what, cash only, and I would sell these things for cash to people at these events, and I feel like that's the only way that you could get one of these hardware wallets from here on out, is to come to me. I've got it delivered to a PO box, like, it's sitting in a warehouse somewhere. And on event day, I get a truck, I hire myself, and I drive it to this event, and I unload it. I'm like, right, guys, treasures for sale. You have to pay a premium on it because of the trouble I went through, because I need some money on it too. But like, at the end of the day, you're secure now. You buy the treasure, you go home, you set it up. There's no, email addresses, nothing's involved. Okay. I think that's the safest way to do it. I think that was Tone Vase that said that, and he's like, old school. Like, not many people are a fan of Tone Vase, but like, he does have clever ideas every now and again. But yeah, I think that's the safest way. Start going to events. It will get people away from their desktops as well. I mean, you guys need to go and touch the grass, or like, go see some people outside. Go outside. Go to an event and pick up a hardware wallet. You don't have to talk to anyone. Literally go there, buy the treasure, and just go home. Stop at McDonald's on the way and go home. So that data breach has happened. A lot of people are fuming about it because, France as well, like, Sweden, Colombia, Britain. I mean, France is even on the list. US, UK, Sweden, Colombia, Brazil, Italy, and Portugal. Colombia, Brazil, Italy. I mean, how secure are your optics? I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess all that information is on the dark web now for sale. And yeah, Godspeed. But yeah, that's happened. Let's see, where was I? The rest, I'm still here. Kalshi lost in court. I don't know anything about that one. I had links for this, but yeah, I had to reset my computer a few times because I had some audio issues, and it's just like I can't be bothered to bring up all the actual threads. So Kalshi. Let's just see if it comes up here. Kalshi. President Trump is expected to attend Wednesday. Yeah, so that's another story. Kalshi. I guess I don't know what that's about. Washington judges ordered Kalshi to block most prediction markets in the state with geofencing by September 2nd after finding it likely violated gambling laws. Yeah. I mean, it was bound to happen, didn't it? It was about to happen, but they made so much money, like, they could probably back some senators to be like, listen, we need to vote this in, pass the Clarity Act, we'll do KYC AML, whatever we need to do, we'll pass. But it's interesting that Polymarket hasn't faced these issues. It's very interesting. So maybe, Polymarket have got them in the pocket. Who knows? Because money talks in Washington. I mean, I'm not from there, but like, from my understanding, if you want to be heard, like, put the money in it, bro. Like, it's that simple. The CFTC has invoked emergency authority to keep Kalshi operating in New York. So it's blocked in Washington, but not in New York at the moment. So yeah, that was recently as well. So yeah, that's happened. Any other stories we want to talk about? Let's have a look. Audio, yeah, so that's done. So yeah, let's ask the question. So in regards to, the fact that 678,000 home addresses, tax records for sale, this input. Does anyone still tell people what they hold? Yeah, so I didn't know it was that large. Yeah, so something happened in France as well. Okay, so yeah, the hack is bigger than we thought. So yeah, 678,000 addresses, home addresses, and tax records for sale. That's crazy. So yeah, hacks are happening everywhere. Clarity Act is still on pause. There was some interesting stuff with the SEC where they tried to front run regulation, saying that basically they wanted to have a meeting on Wednesday with in Washington. I'm assuming the president was going to be there. So the SEC prepares innovation exception to allow 24-hour blockchain trading, and then 2 days later, the SEC has cancelled its open meeting, where it's expected to release its long-anticipated regulation crypto proposal. So, like, at first it's like, yeah, the Clarity Act's not going to happen, and now it's kind of like, well, it might happen. So it's just up in the air. Next week, I believe that there's going to be some meeting. I think it just got brought up. So yeah. Let's see the latest. Yeah, so yeah, it's just one of the ones where who knows? Do you want new rules or do you want to be left alone? I mean, the market's been fine up to now, isn't it? I wonder what this is. The market's been fine up to now. Oh, I got a follow. Sweet. Thank you, Monero She. I guess I better follow you back, innit? It's only polite. It's got a few followers. I'll follow you back. Cheers for the follow, bro. No. Was I following already? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so I'll follow you back. Oh, I'm good you follow. That's nice. Yeah, so do you think regulation is necessary? I mean, the market's been fine up to now, but I guess if we want to go to the multi-trillions, which we are, I guess it's like 2 billions. I say we, I'm one of the small ants in the market, but like, yeah, I guess, do we want to be left alone? I don't know. I think regulation is good in a sense, but not if it's at the, not if it's at the detriment to, or not if it's detrimental to our freedoms, isn't it? Like, as in, geo blocking or geo fencing off certain applications and stuff like that. I mean, very easily that could happen. Where the Cauchy thing could happen in regards to DeFi. Where they're just like, no, you're not allowed to touch that because it's against the rules. Or you have to KYC AML, which is what we have here, for every transaction that you do. Or like, if you want to use DeFi, yeah, you need to provide your passport and all of this and that, only for them to get hacked. I think they just need to be very light-handed and allow people to do what they want to do and be responsible for their own money. I think that's the point. It's just like there's an assumption from past generations that, you give it to the bank and the bank will look after you. If the bank like you, then you're a very popular guy. Whereas like when you're on chain, as you can see from the youth and the way they are, they don't give a fuck. They're trading, shit, meme coins, trying to make a profit, run it up and then maybe put it into majors later. They're trying to do the responsible thing for their futures, in a sense. I don't know if it's responsible, but this is the only way they see themselves winning. Let's see. I guess that's it. Wow. Did I cover everything? Yeah, it's been an hour and 11 minutes. One thing I did want to talk about before I go, and I think it's like the funniest thing ever, is like Trump getting his own bank. I mean, I don't know. Trump. Let me see if I can. Trump. I'll just type in Trump. Keep it simple. Well, it's so funny the fact that all they're like, oh yeah, we need clarity. This that the other. Trump hits at 2028 presidential run. What? We're going to win. Trump 2028. Oh my God! Trump family crypto company World Liberty receives approval to become a federally chartered bank. So World Liberty, if you don't know, raised a load of money through crypto. They released their own token and then they sort of screwed people over. I think Justin Sun, who's like another big participant in the markets, is basically in a legal battle and all sorts of stuff is going on, all sorts of drama. So now they have a bank, which means that I mean, all hell's going to break loose once they come back from their summer break. It's just like this is not ethical for the president to have his own bank, but technically it's not his bank. It's World Liberty, which is run by his family. So congratulations to Trump. He made it all the way to the presidency. And now he has his own bank where he can do whatever the fuck he likes. I mean, I don't know who hurt this guy. Okay, I don't know who hurt the president of the United States, who hurt Trump on his way up. But he's going for the neck in every way possible. In every way possible. Okay. But yeah, shout out to him. I'm not saying I'm a fan. I'm not saying I'm not. I just think it's funny that he's able to do that, but he can't pass the Clarity Act. I think that, get your shit in order, mate. Get your shit in order. Okay. I think that's it, guys. I hope I covered everything. I covered everything the best I could. Okay. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. And if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Here's some more free coins. Let me bring them out. Use some more free coins. There you go. Spend it wisely. At some point, this is going to work out, we're all going to be getting free coins. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for tuning in. And maybe I'll be back tomorrow. Let's see what happens this Sunday. Maybe Monday. If anything, I might be gaming on X as well. Who knows? Okay? But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. And I guess I'll speak to you soon.